second half of the recording session for Wednesday, September the 20th. We're continuing the advanced practices in Adobe Illustrator. And I say advanced, I mean intermediate drawing logo design practices. For this one, we're going to recreate a very popular, famous logo, the Android logo. So I'm going to take you through the steps on how to get it set up right now. It starts with Adobe Illustrator, of course. You got to have the program open. Second, you download this file from Blackboard. It's called Android Logo AI. We just concluded the entire logo exercise file. We just finished that one. The logo challenge is something that we'll embark on next week. And now we're gonna do the Android logo as we speak. It's an Illustrator file already. You just click on it to download the file, and we'll continue with this exercise. So please do that right now as you're watching me live and you're doing this recording with me as well. When you extract the logo, it'll look like this, androidlogo.ai. I already set it up for you. You don't have to do anything, just double click the file and open it in Adobe Illustrator. What you'll see is a ghost image of the logo. Try to click on it. It shouldn't let you. You can't. That's how tracing works. Have you ever traced anything like in real life? Did you have like a light table, or did you do what I did when I was a lot younger? On the window, I would put a page and trace it like on using the lights, the natural light on a window. I didn't have a light table. I used my window. My arms got tired after a while holding the thing up, right? To try to trace it, but it worked. Once I trace it, then I have a composite of what I did, and I didn't color it or render the illustration. I was not good at drawing. Then I became good at later. That's my natural ability to draw. Painting wasn't a big thing for me either, but drawing, sketching, yeah, I was okay with that. And that's what I used to do. I used to trace superheroes back in those days, right? Comic book, Marvel, DC, all these people. We would trace those characters. We would recreate them. So this is the same thing, but in a digital environment. This is now, if you open the layers panel, window, layers, you will see this is layer 2. This is where we trace. Layer 1 is how we brought this logo as a tracing target, right? But I want to teach you how I set this up, because it's the same thing you might want to do for something else later on. So how I did this was this way, okay? So just watch. Don't do nothing. Just watch me do this part. And later we'll just continue from this point forward. It just speeds up the process, okay? So I'm going to pretend that I'll create a new document, and I'm going to do this to show you how I set this up. So just watch, please. I'm going to make this 8 inches in width, 8 inches in height, right? Whatever dimension is fine, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to the internet and search for the Android logo, right? I'm gonna go under images and grab any logo that I like, maybe this one perhaps, maybe this one with the white background or whatever. So I'm gonna right click and save this image to my desktop, or I can copy the image and paste it in Illustrator, whatever you like. So let's just do copy, let's just do paste. It's a lot faster. I'm gonna hold shift and resize it. And the objective here is this. That's no good, right? It's got pixels and stuff. Professionally, that's not a good logo because it doesn't look, clean and stuff. So our job is to make this real vector file. And a lot of times I work for various clients, a lot of them, they're like scratching their head going, I don't know where the logo is. Ask the art department guy, or the guy quit 3 years ago. They don't have the file now. How are you gonna look at the file, right? So guess what? I have to recreate the file. We have to recreate the file. A lot of times you have to just redo it because a lot of companies are not organized in a way, they don't know what EPS is or PNG or, SVG and stuff like that. So as graphic artists, we have to recreate these logos. So let's pretend that's the case here as well, okay? Like I said, I already created the scenario for you, but I'm gonna teach you how I got there. So how I got there was I have the logo selected. I got the layers panel visible. So this is the layers panel right here. And as you can see by default, there's one layer. Well, if you double click here on the right of that, double click, then you have the layer options open up. You can tell this to convert to a template. A template is something that you kind of work with or trace from. The original form is a template. So that becomes a template. By default, it'll dim to 50%, like it's opaque or transparent. So in that case, that's all I do. And it's going to look lock it, show preview. All these things are grayed out. By default, all you have to do is pretty much check on template, click OK, and now this becomes a template. Like you're sticking it on a window and you can trace from it, like tracing paper. Now to trace it, because this layer is locked, you have to go down here and create a new layer. Okay? You can also go over here and create a new layer this way, or you can click over here and create a new layer that way. And on layer 2 is where the fun begins. And this is what I did to show you now, but fast forward, I already have this set up for you. So this is now how we do it together. Does that make sense? I just want to speed up the process and, make this work. So everyone, click on layer 2, because that's the layer that we're going to trace this Android logo to. And after this exercise, a lot of people feel more comfortable using the software. So I hope that's the case. It's not difficult to do this, but it's also not that easy. So try to be patient and follow my steps. So first things first, we're going to do the body. It's the biggest part of the target. So we're going to go use a rectangle tool, everybody. Rectangle tool. You're going to click on the corner here. Press D for default. So you're going to draw a rectangle from here to roughly over there, like that. A white rectangle with a black stroke. Right away, as soon as you draw something, instinctively, you should always go to the selection tool, the black selection tool, the black arrow, okay? And there, you can go inside the corners and round the edges. So you can see here, see the bottom here? Look at the bottom. The bottom is rounded, right? But notice how the top is also round, like everything's rounding. How do I round only 2 corners and not the whole thing? I don't want to round the whole thing. I only want the bottom rounded corners. So I'm going to teach you how to do that now. So this exercise demonstrates a lot of hidden little tricks and tips that you're going to learn from. That's why I handpicked this logo for a reason. Now watch this. You're going to use the white arrow tool, okay? The light arrow. That one, you're going to click on the bottom corner, and you're going to hold shift, and you're going to click on the other bottom corner. That means only the 2 bottom points are selected. Not the top 2, but the bottom 2, which means if you click on the little circle inside, you only get to round those corners. So the reason why that was capable, it's because I was using the lighter arrow tool, direct selection tool. So now you know how to target and round only specific corners of the shape. And then go to the selection tool and deselect. So when to know to use the black selection tool or the very, very light gray selection tool. Let's refer to them as the main selection tool, which is the black one. And the light gray one is called direct selection tool. And that one was the reason why I was able to select only those points and round those corners. Everybody okay? Okay, next, let's do the arms and the legs. This is the easiest one, actually. Did you know there's actually a rounded rectangle tool as well? I mean, I don't think it's even necessary, the fact that you can round the corners anyways, but let's give it a try. Why not? Let's use the rounded rectangle tool next. Let's go over here roughly and draw a rounded rectangle that covers the arm, right? And then just use the normal black selection tool and round the whole thing, like this, all the way. So this looks basically like the same thing in the background. So look, I drew a rectangle, selection tool, round it all in, and then put it there. And resize it so it's the same thing. Right? And then look how easy this is. You hold Option or Alt on a PC and you drag it to the other side. If you hold Shift, it keeps it steady. So now you have the other arm. And yes, you can then hold Option and do the legs too. Watch this. There's the leg, and here's the other leg. So let me just quickly do a walk around and see how everyone's doing. Just so you can see better. Okay? After we take out the black out, don't worry. Just so you can see it better. Okay. Get a mouse. Get a mouse. Okay, I'm going to tell this to everybody. Get a mouse, please. Mouse, need a mouse. You can't use a trackpad. It's hard to draw with a trackpad. Okay. Yeah. Right. Thank you for helping each other. I appreciate that. That's good class chemistry, right? Sorry. I thought you were starting. It was great. Right. Good. Okay. I like the fact that some of you went further than this, but just so you can learn the techniques, it's good to follow me along. You know, I like the mission. Don't get me wrong. I'm okay with you guys doing all the same knowledge and learning. But here's the thing, right? Look what I'll do now. I'm going to select. Look, I'll select the whole thing, all the body parts, right? I'm going to use the eyedropper tool and eyedrop the green to match the color. Again, I selected all these parts with the selection tool. Eyedropper picks, like I demonstrated earlier when Z asked me how do you select the fonts, I just eyedrop the color to match the green color. And that eliminates the black stroke, the white fill, and converts the white fill to a green fill. Now I go with the selection tool, and guess what? It's time for the Pathfinder, because here I'm going to use this one to join, because right now, look, it's all separate, right? But if I press join, it's going to become all together. So now it's more like a logo, or as opposed to a separated object element, right? Okay, so now time to do the head portion, right? It's got the R2-D2 kind of head, eh? From Star Wars. So here's what we'll do for this one. Are you ready for this one now? We can use the elliptical tool, everybody, ellipse tool. And watch this, I'm going to start from the corner. I'm going to press D for default, just to keep it black and white so you can see it. And I'm going to go and drag a big circle like, this is not really working out the way I want it to. Okay, that's fine. I'll just delete it. Let me try it again. Watch my coordinates. I'm going to use my guides. So Command or Control R. I'm going to create a guide here. I'm going to trap it right where it begins. So the top of the head, the side of the head, the X and Y coordinates meet right here. Right? That's a strategy right there. So I'm going to use the circle and click here and drag the mouse this way. You can do this from you don't have to draw the coordinates if you can do it from by looking at it, that's fine. But I want to show you a proper measured approach. So now, this is basically that. I'm going to take out the fill. I want to see through an object. So I'm going to go to the white fill and press no fill. So I only have like a black outline with no fill. Another strategy for artists. They love to do this so they can see better of what they're making, right? Now now you can see clearly how it's going to be outlined. Now I'm going to move this a little lower, down. Look, I'm using keyboard. Down, 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 up, 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 right? I'm going to do this, right? You know why I'm doing this? So I can align the main points to the baseline of the robot's head. And why am I doing that? Because I want to cut those points and join them. So we're going to perform what's called digital surgery. Yes, digital surgery. Put your surgeon specialist gloves on, because that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to use look at this, the scissors. Yes, I told you, I wasn't kidding. So under the eraser is the scissors tool, and you're going to go like this. You're going to go click, cut, and cut on the other side. So when I say cut, I mean click once, click twice. And then use the black arrow tool and select the bottom part and delete it. So that's how we can cut apart shapes using scissors. Right? Look, mine's not perfect, but I'm going to fix it now with the arrow tool. I'm just gonna basically extend this. I'm just gonna stretch this up like that. Right? I just cut, and you can do this in so many ways. When you want to cut little shapes and join shapes, you can make a shape out of anything. Right? So now I'm gonna select these two. Watch this. I'm gonna select this shape here. This is called an open path. It's not connected because I cut it and I deleted it. So now I'm gonna go Shift, Select. I selected both of these, not the top one, just the bottom two. And I'm going to press, I can do Command J to join, J for join, or let me show you the method here. Object, path, join. So you join the open endpoints to become one. So once you do that, this becomes now an actual shape, right? I'm recording this, by the way, just in case you didn't get this part, you can watch it again. But remember, it was all about the scissors, and look, let me show you again. I can go cut anywhere. It doesn't have to be, I can cut here, I can cut over here. Once you cut, you have to go deselect, reselect, and then just take it away, see? Just click right on the point, click and click. It's like a rope. Cut here, cut there. There's no, I'm using scissors. I just go click, click. Oh, to join you mean? Command J is to join. Yeah. Okay, so once this is done now, right? Right? I'm gonna have to do this again apparently. Look, click, click, right? Object, path, join. Now, the little circles here, right? The little circles are just a circle, right? And you can go just hold Shift and draw the little circle. I'm gonna make them, just so you can see it better. And this, I'm going to use the eyedropper and select the green. And the reason why I have different colors, you can see right through how this works. With these two, we're going to select the two eyes and the head, and the pathfinder, we're going to use the second one. It's like punching holes through the object, minus fronts. So basically what we have here is this, you see? See-through. So now we have the robot almost assembled. We have the body and we have the head, right? Just by using these object editing techniques. Was that okay so far? Okay. The last is the antennae, the little things that go on the ear. This is a tricky one because I want to teach you as many things as I can with this. I don't want to keep it the same. So I'm going to use the line tool, watch this. Simply draw a line like that. Press D for default, so it's black stroke, no fill. A line doesn't have a fill. A line is a segment of one endpoint to another. So it only has a stroke weight. That's it. So in that case, I'm going to go make it thicker, 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 and stop at 10. But the problem is with this line, it's called a butt cap. It doesn't have a round cap. So if you open up what's called the stroke properties, and let me show you where those are. Under window, look for stroke. There's stroke is outline, same thing. And there's the stroke properties. If you don't see these properties here, maybe open up the panel or something. Oh, sorry, yeah. If you only see this, click here, go to show options. Here, you not only can widen or lengthen the stroke, right? You can also choose the cap. You can do round cap, end cap, or butt cap. So we're going to go in the middle and pick a round cap. But see, it's still considered a stroke. And I want to make this like a unified logo. So this is an extra step that you might not understand why, but just trust me on this one. This is a fill. This is a stroke. Get it? How do I make this also a fill to make it connect with the Pathfinder like a logo, right? So what I have to do here is this one step. I have to go to Object Path. It's called Outline Stroke. That means the stroke becomes a fill. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's just one of those things that has to be done to convert the stroke into a fill. Because if you want everything to be fill, 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 you have to convert the outlines into fills too. You don't always have to do this. This is a special situation. So I'm just going to do it one time. So outline stroke, okay? And then I can go, okay, so that's good. And then I can go use the fill tool and just, now this is called a fill, see? Like that. Now, how do I mirror this all the way there? Please, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do this, and then this, and then that, right? No, no, no. We're going to do it professionally, right? Professional. We're professionals here, right? Okay, so how do we do it in a professional way? So the professional way is to finding the absolute middle. So the middle, I mean, you can even go like this. You can press Command Y, and you can click on this. That's the middle right there. See, that's the middle. I'm going to use the guide and put a vertical guide right there. That's the middle. I'm going to press back. See how I switch between Command Y so I can see the middle? I don't have to see the middle. I could have done it without. But anyways, I select this now, knowing that that's the middle. I'm going to use the rotate tool or the reflect tool. You can use either one. I'll use the reflect because it's a reflection of a vertical axis. So reflect tool, remember that nail thing I did with the shadow earlier? Same thing, I click in the middle, I put right there, put the nail. Now this means I can go and rotate it based on that nail. See, I can go like this, hold Option, Shift, and it should snap in place. Yeah, I know, it's like a snap. Let me zoom out so you can see better. Here we go again. Put the nail right in the center. And now this becomes, see, it becomes an actual rotational element. But if you hold Option, it copies it while you're rotating it. And if you hold Shift, it snaps in perfect increments like the 45-degree angle. So it has no choice but to land right there because I orchestrated specifically to be right in the middle, right in the position to do that. And honestly, guys, if you want to do it the way you did it, that's fine too. But I want to teach you these advanced stuff along the way, right? So you know how to basically do all this stuff seamlessly. I could have also done this. Look, I could have done something that we did before. Remember this? Object, transform, reflect. Okay? I could have done, yeah, that's the one. Press OK, and then moved it all the way to the other side. I could have done that too, right? But I want to teach you the more hands-on technique, right? Like that. So we're all set and done. Go back to Pathfinder. And the Pathfinder now is going to go ahead and unite all this into one. And ladies and gentlemen, we have this thing all done in vector format. See, nice and clean. No more jagged edges because you see, when you, let's say we have to print this out or do something cool with it, it's not going to have this poor looking quality. See, Illustrator can reverse that, and you can actually create a real vector file, which is what most people use Illustrator for, whether it's for web, whether it's for print, packaging, any type of graphic use, right? That's what they do. Because otherwise, Photoshop is not going to do this for you. I mean, you can use Photoshop to draw stuff, but it defeats the purpose. Huh?
You will need to clean it.
That's right. You gotta go all kinds of cleanups, right? And how about if I got the call from the Blue Jays, the baseball game, the Rogers Center, and I gotta blow this up the size of the stadium. They want this to be 100 feet big. Now what? I give them the vector file. I said, no problem. Go ahead, blow it up as much as you like. It's scalable, right? Yeah, probably more, terabytes probably, right? That's one color, so maybe. But that's why just do vector. There's no point. It's all math, right? Right. Okay, one more thing, guys, I haven't showed you yet, and this is important. How do you save this as a vector SVG file? Right? So one thing is when you save this as an Illustrator file, right? Illustrator file. I'm going to call this one done. Just going to delete this layer here. Watch this last part, everybody, and we'll wrap it up, okay? So here's the last part. The whole purpose of why we're doing this is so you can go ahead and export this as, because this is part of your logo assignment that you're doing, right? So you're going to give me an Illustrator file, and you're also going to give me save as. It's under save as. You don't have to export. Save as. You can only save Illustrator, EPS for print. If you're going to do the hat or the t-shirt with the embroidery, EPS. Then it's machine language. All the machines in factories can understand EPS, encapsulated postscript. That's what the printer uses to print. When you print your resume, how nice and clean is the text? Because it's postscript. Same technology as that. It's print technology. Now, if you want to do the web stuff, then you're going to SVG. SVG for web, scalable vector graphic. So then you go, okay, save. 1.1 is fine. Okay, you can configure settings if needed, but this is fine the way it is. Hit the OK button, and you're done. So now what I assembled was two separate logos. So I have the AI file, and I have the SVG file. You're going to hand both of them in to me, okay? This is for tonight's assignment that you have to do for the logo. I want you to show me that you can do SVG. Do you know what SVG even looks like in machine language? Let me open up in brackets. This is what Illustrator had to do to make the SVG. This is the SVG file. This is the SVG. You guys are doing programming already, so you know how this is. Look, it's all paths, coordinates. No coding required. You can make an SVG. But if you were to code this like that, you would get the same thing, what you see, the logo. Right? So that's how SVG communicates with the websites, because it's got the code embedded in the SVG. And this is the Illustrator file, and this is the SVG file. Okay, so that's how you're able to do almost any type of logo encounter or execution. We'll do a few more of these logo challenges to teach you more tricks and techniques, but pretty much the two classes that we covered, which is last class and this class, that's why I recorded it, because it was like a review from last week, but even more of what I'm showing you. So hopefully that's going to help you with everything going forward, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, and over and out.